Sam and Michael for another PairProgramming. I think it's going to be website 1, but who knows? Anything can happen. So this morning, I did a few things. Mainly reviewing pull requests. Yes, and so Marouen's been working on local support, and Free Range has been working on website 1. So yeah, just reviewing some pull requests, bit this, bit that. I guess the main thing that I got into on a code side was I implemented a puffing Billy, or I added puffing Billy to website 1, and I've got a pull request open for that, and it appears to be green to begin with, although of course maybe that's just luck. I mean, basically it ran green twice locally. I mean, I was quite pleased to get it running locally, and then yeah, it's run on the CI green, so we'll see. It hasn't particularly speeded up the Cucumber runs, which I thought it might. Yeah, good lord, my password thing just being slow. Well, that's for Yahoo. Anyway, yes. So, I mean the intermittent JS thing is like an ongoing kind of bleed that would be nice to get sorted out, but I guess we should give okay, yeah. Also discovered an interesting bug, well, sort of bug or feature in GitHub. So talking with Marouen about his pull request, I mentioned the Ruby instance variable at keywords, and then that notified the user here. I should have noticed that his username was keywords there. Anyway, that's a side issue. I guess you don't have any. Your preference is just to make sure that stuff gets done.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to push out that WSO complete thing, but Raoul. Well, I guess the sort of nominally we've said. I mean, we could just do it ourselves, I guess.
True.
I mean, in principle, we've tested it on staging. I don't know if I was having a little chat with Raoul. Say like let's go live on production, or are there tests you want to run on staging? Yeah, some other things that appear to be a kind of a side effect of we cloned the production data onto staging yesterday.
Yeah, and I got an email about it. So
right. Me too. Yeah.
You can't do that many rows in your database.
So I mean, one of the reasons that we're paying some money for, or I'm paying some money for the main Agile Ventures site is because there are so many rows in the database. It would be nice to know which rows are taking up all the space, and do we actually need them? I don't know if there's an easy way to see that. Do we have a database management tool for this? Yeah, anyway, lots of bits and pieces. The automated deploys for local support are not working, but hey. Yeah, I pinged Raoul about production. I mean, in some ways, actually, it may be simpler because it's got to be coordinated for just us to do it and not bother him. But so.
said something to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing database overview on Heroku. Oh, well, he says, we should be happy to go ahead and do that if we want. How do I check the record of my? It would be nice to just get an overview. I wonder if we have briefly when we upgraded on. Yeah, I see. We have this Mal. See, we're basically paying $9 a month here for this. And briefly, we had when I'd taken it up to like the $50 a month one, and it said it would show you the most, what's it called? It would show the the most expensive queries, which sounded useful, and I should have looked at before I cancelled it. But yes, that doesn't look like it's immediately got a. I'd just like to know like a overview of how many rows in which tables. Did somebody doing something like that for me before?
I don't know.
I feel like we had something actually in the pivotal tracker. Referring to
some Postgre GUI
or something. Yeah, I had this chore for reducing the amount of database we are storing. Raul was using. Here we go. Where was the thing? We were seeing that the tuples inserted the size. Where is the size? And that's okay. So that's the sizes were in the versions table, which presumably is like versioning for the
database migrations.
You reckon? I would be surprised. I would admit that's schema migrations. I think its versions is acts as versioned for the articles. I would say.
Probably. Oh yeah, probably.
So that's like there's 4 megs in there, and the next one after that is event instances is 2 megs, and then documents is a meg. Yeah. Not an easy. I mean, basically, probably the simple thing to do on staging is blow away the versions.
True.
Which we, don't. What was the how overloaded was it?
I didn't catch it. I think it was.
Heroku run Rails console -r staging. If we assume that's and then event instances. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, I'm tempted to leave the event. It'd be nice to have the Heroku DB table sizes. Anyway, do you want to set up a pull request that pushes staging into master?
Okay.
So do we have a, if I do version count, we don't have a, so what does version correspond to? Website 1 versions. Do we have something in the gem file about Sean? No. If we have a look at the model.
And do you have a?
Do I have a what, sir?
I was just thinking, do you have your Agile bot ready?
Not in the strong sense of the actual ready. So yes, I will guess I will move on to that because it's not immediately clear what the best way would be to flush the versions from the staging database. So, and probably we should focus on deploying this thing and then worrying about that afterwards. It's funny because I don't find
Haraku.
What are you trying to do? You want to share your screen?
No, I'm just doing. I'm messing around to see what's.
Yeah, I guess let's do the deploy and then get distracted by all the other stuff afterwards. So, well, if we go to the Agile bot, then so one thing to consider is what is going on? Is the name of the project that we want to use. So this Agile bot here this is how the production code looks. And so basically at the moment it's still where is it? Yeah, it's doing find project for Hangout based on this. So the change that we are proposing is that this will just say project there, as will this. And that those are now going to be based on the project slugs. Okay. So, right. So we've got kind of a, so it's set up to use the word CS169, but it was using that kind of as a keyword
Rather
to search for CS, rather than that being the name of the particular project. So if we look at,
didn't you have like a bot that was working to some degree?
Oh yeah, that's a working bot.
I mean, no, I mean that we had on Agile bot staging or whatever.
Yeah, we have both. That's a weird. Why is there a dot there?
I'm thinking why not just work off the one that we deployed?
The staging one.
Yeah, like pull that down and
partly because it has
make some minor changes and then squash the bits and
really. We could do. I guess it's because it's got these hard-coded things. I mean, I made a couple of changes for different channels and so on that seem inappropriate. I mean, we could do, but the problem is there that we kind of want the staging thing to. I mean, really, what should happen is that this should be not hard coded. I mean, it should be extracted from the Slack API, really. I think, or at least it shouldn't be. So, I mean, what I'm tempted to do. I mean, yeah. Ooh. I mean, it's sort of got. It's not even really a channel. This is like a keyword channel.
Well, I'm just thinking you're gonna if you're making significant changes to the bot, then and we've already tested it.
Well, they're kind of pretty trivial changes to the bot. I mean, the only change is this, thing here and here. And I mean, it's basically this title to lowercase is replacing that. If we git diff staging, because the changes are that basically, I adjusted the general thing, but that needs to go back. I adjusted the getter to go to a test environment, but that also needs to go back. And then it's those two things there, and these are the changes here.
Okay.
But I kind of feel like we've got all of these settings that really should be pulled into, that they're just well, we shouldn't have set settings in the file like this. Would you agree? In the code base, I don't know.
Potentially, yeah.
But at the same time, for all the things that I want to refactor, I kind of feel like the way forward, if we decide that this is something that we want to do more work on, would be to turn this into a service on website 1 rather than being a separate Slack bot. If I don't think we get any benefit from it being I'm not aware of any benefit that we get from it being a separate service, other than it's one other thing to fail. I guess it takes some complexity out of the website 1 system, but I would much rather put that into a gem than into a separate service with a network connection that can fail. But I guess my reticence against merging staging into production is that I would need to throw away 2 things, at least one of which I'd have to look up again, that we'll want to continue to have on staging. You know what I mean? In order to do tests outside of the production environment. Does that make sense?
Why would you have to throw them away just to merge them in?
Well, because if I merge those changes in onto master, then it won't be going to the right. It won't go to the right gitter room, and it won't notify. Other things won't notify the correct channel.
Well, I don't understand why you can't merge them in chain. I don't know.
Well, I guess I can. I merge the commit and then make another commit on top of it.
Why don't you check out? Why don't you check out another branch from staging? And then make the changes that you want. Rebase on that branch, and then merge into master. Right.
I guess that it seems like a somewhat complex way of, because I can see that the only change that I want is to do this.
Okay. Well,
to this and this to this. So, given the other complexities that we've got going on, that seems. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's. I would say I'm going to go for the simpler thing here, and then we can laugh if I screw it all up as a result, or at least you can laugh at me, and I can hang my head. And it's also, we don't have any automated tests associated with the. But the thing that I had thought to focus on now was that we have this thing called the ESAS MOOC as an existing project, which, as we've noted, doesn't really have anything associated with it. I was also reflecting on all these things, CS169, ESAS, what have you, are all not very clear about what they mean to anybody.
I would say with the bot, we do get a cleaner potential separation. Because we would have to somehow coordinate like a Ruby service that's not really a service, but just the Rails service.
Yeah.
All kinds of callbacks and.
Well.
Instead of just exposing a controller.
I hear what you're saying, although when I look at the service here for the Slack service here, like basically the version of this that would do the same thing.
Plus, I kind of like doing like real services. I don't know. It's cooler.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, I mean, I'm certainly not proposing changing it immediately. I think, and that's definitely something that we can look at. I certainly like the idea of, I mean, particularly having finished reading DDD and having these bounded contexts.
Yeah.
But I also what makes me more nervous is the absence of testing at all in this system, and just we've got these kind of long stuff.
Well, we could potentially start putting tests on.
We could. We potentially could. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get the fruits of our labor into production, and then we can come back around and explore this. Yeah, absolutely. So in principle, that simple change in master, just this will stop it, routing via project, and routing it via title, and it will route it via project. Boom, 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 boom. Something I'm missing here about, because basically anything that's a Scrum just goes to general, and anything goes into this, and it's got channels CS169. That's what it calls it there. It says if room equals a find project for Hangout is going through, and it's going to match through CS169. So I mean, at the moment, in order for all this to work, we would need to have a CS169 project, or we would need to rename this as CS169.
True.
And I guess I'm tempted for simplicity just to create a CS169 project that's a placeholder, because whatever is, feels like this should just be deleted. It's not really. I don't know that there's anything useful associated with that. So I guess I will go ahead and create a CS169 project as a path of least resistance.
Okay.
And then the course is in the process of being rebranded, and is being called Agile Development using Ruby on Rails, which I think is a much more accurate description of what the course is about.
Right. People had complained about that, I remember.
Yeah. Which, of course, then calling it ROR is not necessarily so useful. I had a thought here that maybe it should be all linked up and called this, that, and the other. But anyway, so let's just create that project. Did you have the pull request?
Yes.
Is ready to go.
Yep.
So CS169, I would imagine, it's interesting, it doesn't go straight to the bottom. Okay. So we have the project. Do you want to share your screen? Are you? I guess.
Do you see it?
So we've got deploy staging to master. It's gone green.
Yep.
So I guess, yeah, the sensible thing is to go ahead and merge that, and then it's not going to go live for about 5 minutes.
It failed.
Say again?
It said it failed.
Did it?
Yeah.
Where did it say that?
Merge attempt failed. Reload the page before trying again. Never mind.
Sorry, I think probably I hit merge and then you hit merge afterwards.
Okay.
Sorry. Confusion. But so I was saying like that will, like, presumably
It'll take a little while.
It'll take a little while.
So theoretically, it should run db migrate too, right?
I'd like to think it might. Yeah. I mean, I guess what I will do is I will push out these changes to the bot. Adjusts pair programming to filter notifications by project. Git push origin master. And I guess we don't necessarily, I don't know if we have automated deployment set up on AgileBot. Probably not. AgileBot. We have AgileBot. Deploy. Enable automatic deploys from GitHub master. Wait for CI past. Enable automatic deploys. Okay. Well, I've enabled automatic deploys, but probably that won't work now. So let's just do a deploy branch from. Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing a deploy through the main interface. Yeah. Hopefully the have you got the I was thinking that it would be nice to have Semaphore integrated with Slack, and we do have.
What did you say?
Well, I was just thinking. Well, one of the things I've done recently is I've managed to get the Travis builds of the for the grader get directed to the grader notification location. And in the past, I've got all these emails about Semaphore, whatever, and I think it's much more sensible place for them to be going to is to Slack, really, than on the notified channel.
Look up Agile Ventures, NeuroGrid, right? Production.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. So it hasn't deployed yet.
No. So that might take a little while. But yeah,
what does it do? Does it rerun run integration again?
No, well, so actually on website one we've got Semaphore is doing our builds for
it's rerunning its integration tests.
So, well, I think what Semaphore should do is Semaphore should it'll run the CI, and then if it passes, it'll deploy it. Project settings. We've got notifications in your notifications. Slack, yeah. So and I set up Slack notifications for this. So I mean, in principle, we should get a notification on Slack when it deploys. Although I haven't seen any Semaphore notifications come through on Slack.
Which Slack channel?
It would be like the website one. I mean, it should be the web. I mean, yeah, this is it. Semaphore. We've got 2 configured. Yeah, I mean, I've got post notifications to WSO CI as Semaphore. Yeah, we've got. Well, it's interesting. We've got. Okay. I've got a different URL here. I think. Oh no, is that the right? No, it's the same one. No, slightly different. Maybe going to the wrong place. Or oh god, that some bloody no, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, no, it's the same one. It's there, Slack. Receive after builds. Oh, let's put always. Yeah. Save settings. Test settings. Sample payload sent. Interesting. I'm not, yeah, I mean, I set a, if I didn't know better, I would say that this Slack integration is not working. Do I have to save the integration here? I've got it telling it to WSO-CI, test settings, sample payload sent. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a message come through saying that.
well, then that's particularly suspicious, given that the settings doesn't. Help. Support. Send us a message. Yes. New conversation. Hi there. Our Slack integration doesn't seem to be working. We've double checked the URL. Sent test data. No joy. Any suggestions? Like this is these. I've seen this style of stuff. Somebody that must be providing a standardized sort of customer support chat, because Hound and Travis people have all the same one. So it hasn't deployed yet. I guess in principle we can watch to see whether it's deployed from here.
I'm checking Heroku, but you could check that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's building there, and yeah, it'll do the Heroku thing. Yes, okay. And so I guess once it's done, what we should do is, I mean, I guess
we should test the site a little bit and then push the Slack bot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that in some ways, what would make sense to do would be actually to run. I mean, I've got this what's what it's called now. The stand up that happens in about 10 minutes is set to be a text one, but actually it would be a useful test to do it as a proper one. Although, to see if that goes to the right place, and then. I mean, I guess the only thing now is a test of doing a CS169 pairing will go to the Gitter channel, but it's not. None of the courses are live, so it's not necessarily inconveniencing too many people. Yeah. So I guess what I might do is just for the. When I go back to the events, is find the Atlantic and switch it on for Tuesday, so that we have a. We can do a test of that. And then I guess the background issue was looking at where are these versions coming from, and I was assuming that was because the document model. Well, we've got actors page. Use nullable. Let's have a look at the schema and see what the versions, item type, item ID, event, whodunit, object created at. Version. Helpers. Yes, there's document versions. Really? The document model. Right, so one of these things, access page, user nullable, or public activity common, must add this versions thing.
Sorry. So there's a version table?
There's a version table, and that was the one that was the biggest. And we've got references to documents dot version. And we've got base acts as tree. So I mean, it seems like there's some sort of acts as tree. Now that allows it to sit within a framework, like in a hierarchy. User nullable. Okay, null users. And public activity common. Huh. I am perplexed as to what is giving us our version functionality in. So this is one of these things where
Go on.
there's supposed to be. I mean, this was a thing that one of the Rails.
Probably some gem, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I imagine it would be some gem. I mean, it used to be like was acts as versions was the gem. But what have we got? I mean, there's no mention of the word version in. Oh, we've got no PaperTrail version control for document. Right, PaperTrail. There we go. PaperTrail gem.
PaperTrail control for document.
Yeah. PaperTrail gem. Changes to your models, and it is used. How is it used? Add a version table to your database. Add a has PaperTrail to the models that you want to track. Okay, all right, there it is. Yes. So, and it's simply the documents. Okay. I mean, I guess the thing that probably would, I mean, if I can connect to.
So let's say document dot first dot version.
Get like a PG run PG.
So there's a class called paper.
There's a class called paper in our
PaperTrail : version.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that probably on staging I can just, if I can go into what's P-SQL couldn't do. What's the, is there a way to get there? I mean, like it feels like it would be simpler just to do it through directly through the database.
2,416 versions.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. So.
Oh, okay. So I guess there we could blow it away from there.
I ran Heroku run Rails C -- R staging.
Yeah, I think you only need a single dash for that, but
Or actually, I ran -- app website 1 staging.
yeah, that's because your Heroku name locally is website 1 staging. If you do git remote rename website 1 - staging and then staging, you'll be able to do -R staging.
No, I mean my Heroku remotes and repo staging, right?
I think if you do git remote -V on yours locally, you'll see that you've got
Git remote
-V. So you've got your, oh no, you've got there. But what you should be able to do there, if you do Heroku run Rails C, and then instead of that -- app website 1 staging, if you do -R staging, that should work.
maybe that'll work.
And that'll save you a little bit of typing.
So you want me to just blow that away, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was going to try and get into the Postgre console, but I guess if that version is a model, I mean, I guess then there's a question of like, you know,
validations.
I mean, I mean, I guess in principle you could do PaperTrail version.all, and then you could do like each, and then the thing whatever, and then do the pipes, and you know v, and then do v.destroy or whatever it needs to be.
Where's the pipe on there? Like that, right?
Yeah, I mean that may have nasty side effects, but it's on staging. So. Okay. So you should be able to do version just dot count maybe. Ah, well, actually, we just got
zero.
We've got a
0 on that table.
0 on that table. Cool. Well, we'll see if that's enough to get. But in the background, yeah, it looks like the migrations haven't run on production. Run rake db migrate -R production. It's very annoying. It doesn't run migrations.
Interesting.
At least the semaphore notification came through on website the CI. I think before it was set up to only do it with if there was a change in the build status. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That doesn't automatically. And so let's have a look now again at the settings for working now at least. Test data never came through, but production deploy did.
So did you run?
I ran the things, yeah. But the build settings, it has this post thread bundle exec rake db migrate, which appears to be not having any impact. It tells me that master is building build 36. It tells me that it did rake db migrate, and it did add projects to events. I wonder if this I have a feeling here that this is okay. Yeah. So I have a feeling here that this setting, the project setting, the build settings here, this is not having any impact. This is like for the CI. This is not for the deployment. So that's completely irrelevant. Then we've got the build scheduler, right? Something in here is configuring like how it actually deploys, right? Like this is just running the tests. What in here is determining its, right, here we go. This project is set up to be deployed to Heroku. Yeah, okay. Okay, website one production. Deploy commands. This is where it should be. But will this do? So does this need to have here Heroku run rake db migrate?
Maybe.
If this is this is server website one production. It's got their branch name master. Yeah, because if they're calling it Heroku, so that's what we need, I think. And so then we have a look at.
That's assuming they have the Heroku toolbelt installed.
Yeah, well, at least they're well, yeah, we'll see, won't we? Oh, and so hopefully that works. Oh, and then I think we saw last time it needs a restart, doesn't it? Telling us that's live. New event. No. Heroku restart. Okay. That one, develop. Edit server. Right. So that was the place that I edited it last time. Okay, so it was done for the develop. Okay. All right. So now we have that there. If we go to the front page, so in principle we could take this live. Should we end this recording and I'll take this one live and we'll.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cheers.